But dude, he's so goddamn good. He's so protected. He knows where to be and where not to be. He's so composed. Like, look at that. Look at that movement. Look how he moves away from everything. So you're punching at air and you're still threatening, but you're not really hitting him, and he's making you throw punches. And occasionally you clip him with a shot as he's moving away, and he rolls with a lot of shit.
Let's go.
Adjust to or get used to with Pacquiao in the ring?
I mean, nobody fights like him. It's very difficult to prepare for. It took Marquez 4 fights to figure him out. You know, and Marquez is one of the fastest thinkers in the game, and he's just such a difficult guy to zone in on. I always felt like just as I was getting my crosshairs on him, he would change his rhythm. He's a very rhythmic fighter.
Joe Rogan expressed surprise at how threatening Manny Pacquiao appeared during preparations for a potential rematch with Floyd Mayweather. According to Rogan, Mayweather chose to fight Pacquiao only after several years had passed and Manny was no longer in his prime. Even so, Pacquiao still showed remarkable speed and skill. As discussions about another Mayweather-Pacquiao showdown continue, Rogan suggested that Floyd's strategy was both highly calculated and somewhat controversial.
We get ready for Mayweather Pacquiao.
Right.
And
Mayweather just did such a smart thing, but also a devious thing. Waiting until Pacquiao was older, waiting until he slowed down, and then...
Devious is not illegal in boxing.
It's encouraged.
Yeah. In any entrepreneurial sport, devious is not illegal.
No.
Devious can be an asset.
That's how you retire with a 50
According to Roy Jones Jr., a lot of today's boxers no longer rely on the kind of footwork that once defined the sport. However, Manny Pacquiao continues to stand out with his outstanding mobility, quick movement, and ability to maintain perfect positioning during exchanges inside the ring.
Man is never stationary. Man is always on the move. You understand me? What has happened in boxing is a lot of people have lost the art of footwork. You understand me? Not many people have footwork. So if you see a guy go out and box like you'll never see in today's time too often, a guy go out and box like Sugar Ray Leonard boxed Marvin Hagler.
Right.
He moved around, he fought when it was time, he moved when it was time. He understood how to use the whole ring to get a victory. Now guys don't do that. Pac-Man, fortunately, is one of those guys who knows how to use the ring. So he don't stand in just one place and fight. With that being said, if his legs can hold up for 12 rounds, he's the guy.
He went on to explain that Pacquiao's chances of success largely depend on how well his legs perform from the opening bell to the final round. Maintaining stamina and consistent movement throughout all 12 rounds is essential, as both endurance and ring mobility play a major role in securing a win.
Days with how things go, and with Manny being who Manny is, if Manny can get to 12 rounds, Manny gonna win the fight. If Burns can hurt Manny early in the fight and not let him go 12 rounds, he might have a chance. But Manny has one of the bigger outputs for any fighter of any era.
Right.
He's a guy that don't mind throwing 3 and 4 and 5 punches at a time. He's not one of those guys that won't throw 4 or 5 punches if he see it. You understand me? So that being said, the only concern I have is how will his legs hold up? Right. Because if his legs hold up, he's gonna beat Burns.
Manny Pacquiao showcases remarkable quickness inside the ring, blending rapid-fire combinations, explosive movement, and sharp reactions that make it difficult for opponents to anticipate his next move or find their rhythm. Chris Algieri explains that Manny Pacquiao presents a unique challenge in the ring due to his unconventional style, varied attack patterns, and ability to create unexpected situations. These qualities make it exceptionally difficult for any opponent to develop an effective game plan and fully prepare for facing him.
I was getting my crosshairs on him, he would change his rhythm. He's a very rhythmic fighter. He uses broken rhythm very, very well. And yeah, adjustments on the fly, which is what I think all the best fighters in the world do. All the top guys I fought made vast adjustments along the way. So yeah, Manny's he's special. as is Floyd.
His power, where did it rank among the fighters that you faced?
Not the hardest, but also very hard. Keith Thurman famously said he's got bricks for hands. It's very true. So you have bricks for hands plus fast hands, plus punches you don't see, makes him a very dangerous puncher. But he wouldn't say he was the hardest. Ruslan hit, I believe, way harder. Huge crunching power. But in terms of a guy with fast hands who has hard hands, but also punches from angles that are hard to see, very, very dangerous.
Kind of dangerous. He's facing Ruslan before this Pacquiao.
Depending on how real that fight is, and depending on what size gloves they're wearing, depending on what kind of discussion they have prior to the fight, if the fight.
Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Justin Fortune, has expressed strong confidence ahead of a potential rematch with Floyd Mayweather. He says the team has put in the necessary work and feels completely ready for the challenge, believing that Pacquiao has what it takes to come out on top when the fight takes place.
Companies, but Mayweather times his record by fighting basically no one's in the last 4 or 5 fights. How those fights even got sanctioned is unbelievable. So, whereas Pacquiao has never dodged anybody. He's fought champions.
I thought Manny won his last fight. He should have been champion right now.
Absolutely.
But Mayweather's going to put his record on the line. September 19 at the Sphere in Vegas. What happens? Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather's putting a 50-0 on the line. It's not an exhibition.
Obviously, I think Manny wins.
What would that mean if Manny gave Floyd his first loss?
What would that mean to Floyd? I don't know.
What would it mean to Manny?
It'd be great. Well, we just sort of, the last time we fought Floyd, his shoulder was all messed up, so it might have been a different outcome. But that's no point bitching about it.
Abel Sanchez shared his thoughts on a possible Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch, questioning the significance of the fight by pointing out that both men are now approaching 50 years old. In his view, the rivalry was already decided in their first meeting, making a second bout largely unnecessary from a competitive standpoint. While he acknowledges that the event would attract fans and generate substantial revenue for both fighters, he does not see it as a contest that truly reflects elite-level competition at this stage of their careers. Sanchez also noted that Pacquiao has always been a difficult fighter to deal with because of his unique style and relentless approach. However, considering his age, there are questions about how much of an advantage he can still create inside the ring. At the same time, Mayweather is no longer in his prime either, which could make this Manny Pacquiao's best opportunity to reverse the outcome if a rematch happens. Further wondered why a second fight was never made when both athletes were at their peak, emphasizing that timing plays a major role in how matchups unfold. Despite his reservations, Sanchez praised both Mayweather and Pacquiao for being willing to step back into the spotlight and take on the challenge under these circumstances.
You with it? Do you like it or not? No.
Not me. I think that's just like some of the. Although Jake has proven to be helping a lot of our fighters, a lot of our girl fighters, but I think that that fight's gone, and they already have one. We don't need another one. If they want to do it for entertainment for the fans, that's great. Good money for them. But as far as a real thing, no.
So, someone told me this. It's a boxing person, and I asked him, like, hey, what do you think about the fight? And then he asked me, like, well, what do you think? I'm like, well, that style, like, it's always been hard for Manny, like, always, and I just, I don't know what he can do now at this age that gives him an advantage in that. And he told me, like, look, Floyd's a lot older. I think now is the best chance that Manny has to beat.
Sanchez reinforced his viewpoint by comparing the situation to other fighters throughout boxing history. He brought up Terry Norris as an example, explaining that some athletes become even better after suffering a loss because the experience helps eliminate psychological obstacles and strengthens their mindset. He also mentioned Gennady Golovkin, noting that delaying major matchups until a fighter has begun to decline can significantly affect the outcome and overall performance. In the end, Sanchez sees the proposed rematch primarily as a spectacle designed for fan interest, rather than a true measure of who is the superior boxer. He believes the realities of aging inevitably influence what fighters can do in the ring, underscoring the difficulties veteran champions face as the sport continues to evolve.
Why didn't they do it 3 years before the first one? Why are they doing it now? Do it when it matters. Just like Boots, when you're talking about Boots and Xander, that's perfect. I give all the credit to both guys for taking that chance. Taking that chance because unfortunately today the zero on your record is so important to everybody, the networks, the managers, the promoters. you become a better fighter, as Fundora has. You become a better fighter once you taste defeat because that monkey's off your back. You're not protecting anything. Terry Norris became a better fighter after he got knocked out by Julian Jackson. Why? Because the chip came off his shoulder and he started to do things that we needed to do in the gym to become better. I think that they should have fought 3 years, 4 years before they did fight. And it would have been talking about the second one back then I would have been okay with it because at least they fought in their prime.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his thoughts on a potential Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch, pointing out that both boxing legends are now approaching 50 years of age. He remarked that in today's boxing landscape, star power often determines who gets the biggest opportunities, suggesting that popularity can be just as important as competitive rankings. Discussing his own career, Malignaggi revealed interest in facing the winner should the opportunity arise. He explained that he has continued competing through bare-knuckle boxing and remains motivated to return to high-profile professional fights. However, he stressed the importance of focusing on the immediate task ahead, stating that his priority is capturing the BKB title on May 16th, a victory that could open the door to larger opportunities in the future. Malignaggi also noted that he comes from the same era as Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, although he never had the opportunity to share the ring with either fighter. He suggested that veteran champions may feel more comfortable competing against opponents from their own generation rather than taking on significantly younger contenders, finished by saying that the public will ultimately have to judge the rematch once it happens and see how both men perform at this stage of their careers. At the same time, he expressed confidence in his own abilities, believing he remains sharp and capable, particularly when comparing his current form to what he observed in Pacquiao's bout with Mario Barrios.
Mayweather Pacquiao are fighting again in a rematch.
Yeah.
Both almost 50, if not 50. I want to say they're right around 50 years old.
Yeah, man. Let's see what at this point in time, whatever's popular, if they fight, they fight. I mean, listen, I don't know where the winner goes. I'll tell you what, I'd love a chance to fight the winner. I've been active. I've been fighting in bare knuckle. Looking to, see if there's an entrance for me back in glove boxing, but I have to. I think if I win this BKB title on May 16th, it's one fight at a time. I don't overlook anybody, but if I will be able to get a result there, I think I put myself in a good position to possibly get an attractive glove offer as well. So, if they're gonna fight each other, I was in their generation as well. I didn't get to fight any of them. I don't know that they'd want to fight any of the younger guys. I think Pacquiao had a chance against Barrios. Barrios probably the weak link in the welterweight division. There's probably no other weak links left. So I think that you probably want to stay in that older guy lane. That's why I come into play. We'll see. Let's let them fight and see how.
Chris Algieri offered his perspective on the potential rematch, acknowledging that neither fighter has been especially active in recent years and describing the event as a major financial opportunity for both competitors. Even so, he said he has no issue with the matchup, largely because it does not prevent younger fighters from pursuing meaningful opportunities within the division. Algieri pointed out that the fight would generate tremendous nostalgia, bringing renewed attention to the extraordinary careers of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. He noted that in the weeks leading up to the event, fans, commentators, and analysts would likely spend considerable time revisiting their greatest moments and debating their legacies, something he believes adds to the excitement surrounding the contest. Although he does not expect an action-packed war given that both fighters are approaching 50 years old, Algieri admitted that the rematch still captures his interest. He said he is genuinely curious to see how both men perform at this stage of their careers and looks forward to watching another chapter unfold between two of boxing's most accomplished champions.
It's two legends / two old men who are fighting each other. They haven't been very active. It's a big money grab. I'm going to say it like this. I don't hate it because the division is actually moving. It's not like they're fighting for a title and keeping guys out of the way. They're fighting each other. They both make a lot of money, and it's going to bring so much nostalgia for both of their careers in the build-up. For those 2 months where we're leading up to Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2, all we're going to do is watch, and talk about their fights, and I love that. I love that idea because I think they're two stalwarts on our sport. And in terms of them fighting each other, I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to put on a barn-burning performance, especially when they're damn near 50. But I don't know. I'm not super mad at it. I actually am looking.
Promoter Jas Mather pushed back against the idea that a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch would simply be driven by nostalgia, describing it instead as one of the biggest attractions in combat sports. He pointed to the extraordinary success of their first meeting, which produced hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue and became a global event that boxing fans had waited years to witness. Mather explained that both fighters continue to bring credibility to a second showdown. He noted that Manny Pacquiao has remained involved in competition, while Floyd Mayweather continues to maintain an intense training routine and exceptional physical condition despite his age. According to Mather, Mayweather's commitment to preparation has never changed, and his ability to perform at a high level remains remarkable. Also expressed confidence that both men will enter the ring in outstanding shape, suggesting that the rematch could deliver a more entertaining performance than their original encounter. Mather emphasized that the event is being approached with serious planning and high expectations, rather than being treated as a simple exhibition or promotional attraction.
Take on this. You're behind it. You're orchestrating this thing. You know, Netflix, all that. Could this be the biggest fight that's ever been streamed?
I mean, I'd say huge is an understatement. I mean, let's look at the first fight, right? Fight of the century. Generated over 600 million in total revenue, over 410 million in pay-per-view. So you're talking about a spectacle. You're talking about a one-off, something that people have wanted to see for a decade plus since the first one.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome. It'll be sports entertainment in boxing for the first time ever at the Sphere. So it's going to be great.
Well, I you know, recently we saw Manny in the ring. You know, he's been active.
Yeah.
Floyd's been doing some stuff, but it's like, you know, the other type of stuff, you know, not like serious. That was a sanction.
Floyd's Floyd. Listen, Floyd's Floyd. Don't get it twisted. 50-0. Floyd's Floyd.
Right.
Floyd does this in his sleep. Floyd training.
He went on to explain that the event is being carefully organized as a large-scale production, backed by extensive planning, major financial resources, and a professional team working behind the scenes. The show is expected to incorporate cutting-edge sports entertainment elements, particularly through the unique capabilities of the Sphere venue, creating an experience designed to stand apart from traditional boxing events. Responding to skeptics, Mather acknowledged that not everyone agrees with the significance of the rematch, but he remained firm in his belief that the fight carries tremendous value. He pointed to the enormous commercial potential of the event and the lasting legacy of both Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao as two of boxing's most recognizable figures. According to Mather, the rematch represents far more than a simple return to the ring. He views it as a rare opportunity to witness two legendary competitors share the spotlight once again, creating a memorable chapter in boxing history and delivering a landmark occasion for fans around the world.
In better shape.
You know what? They're both in excellent shape. That's why this fight is what everybody wants to see. You know, I will tell you one thing. We're gonna notice something better from their last fight because they're both on their A game. These two, they age backwards.
Well, look, you know, I saw other promoters. I think Dana was jumping on this conversation too.
Listen,
what do you think?
I think here's what I think.
He kind of had some words.
I'm gonna stop you there. Everyone has words. You know, a lot of people are hating on this. A lot of people are saying things. A lot of people are entitled to their own opinion. But as I said in the beginning, we're looking at. Of course, it's going to be expensive. Why wouldn't it be expensive?
At the Sphere. It's
Well,
supposed to be
it'll be
extra
expensive anyway. It should be beyond expensive. Look at the names we have. We got Mayweather and we got Pacquiao. We're looking at how much money is coming in. We're not looking at how much money is going out. It's not like there were three of us sitting across the table with napkins and writing, oh, let's go to the Sphere and let's make it.
Jiren Ennis highlighted the importance of Manny Pacquiao's recent activity, explaining that regular competition has helped him preserve many of the qualities that made him successful throughout his career. According to Ennis, Pacquiao has continued to display quick reactions, fast hands, and the stamina needed to compete at a high level. Staying active has also allowed him to maintain his rhythm in the ring, something that could become increasingly valuable as a fight progresses into the later rounds. Contrasted that situation with Floyd Mayweather, who has spent a long period away from professional competition. Ennis suggested that an extended absence could affect important factors such as timing, sharpness, and overall fight readiness. Because Pacquiao has continued facing live opponents, Ennis believes he may be better prepared to deal with the demands of a high-level contest. His recent experience has kept him accustomed to making adjustments under pressure, analyzing opponents in real time, and remaining calm during difficult moments. If the rematch reaches the championship rounds, Ennis feels those advantages could place additional demands on Mayweather's defense, conditioning, and ability to adapt.
Fighting how long?
Damn. Yo.
When the last time you fought?
Well, he's been doing the exhibition.
Oh, right,
Fought.
So when was the last? We're gonna say when was the last exhibition? What was it? 10-rounder or 8-rounder?
I don't know. He been stopping everybody.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he going.
It might have been like Gotti. Is that the one?
And what was he doing? Was he boxing or was he walking it down?
Yo, honestly, when I seen him against the Japanese dude, he had his high guard and he was just walking forward.
That's what I'm saying. He older now. He ain't gonna be doing too much moving. He gonna be sharp and he gonna make Pacquiao run into something or some sharp calm. Like, watch.
Oh, so you think this ends in a stoppage?
It's a possibility, yo. I ain't even gonna lie. It's a possibility.
Sean Porter recently weighed in on a potential showdown between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr., offering a more measured assessment than much of the excitement surrounding the event. While many fans and commentators are presenting the matchup as a major historical occasion, Porter suggested that the situation deserves a more balanced perspective, acknowledged Pacquiao's place among boxing's all-time greats, but noted that the Filipino legend is no longer competing at the stage of his career where he delivered some of his most dominant performances. Although Pacquiao has continued to demonstrate impressive abilities in recent appearances, Porter believes those outings do not necessarily reflect the same level he reached during his prime years. Porter also discussed Mayweather's situation, pointing out that the former champion has spent a significant amount of time away from professional competition. Because of that extended inactivity, Porter feels there are still unanswered questions regarding Mayweather's current condition, sharpness, and overall preparedness for a high-level contest. As a result, he views the matchup with cautious interest, recognizing the legendary status of both fighters while also acknowledging the uncertainties that come with age, inactivity, and the passage of time.
The hurt business, and because there are some ailments that you could encounter because of it being a hurt business, people look at it differently. And I'm encouraging people, when you do see a fighter retire and then come back, don't jump to the conclusion that that fighter is broke. Don't jump to the conclusion that that fighter don't know what else to do with their lives. Understand that that fighter has put in countless hours and days and years, upwards to the 30 and 40. And when that person says, I'm going back to work, that's essentially what they're doing. They're just going back to work. Can't be too mad at it.
I think the main thing, I don't know how much people are mad and hate Manny, but Floyd's whole persona was, I print money. I'm bigger than the dollar.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
I got a private jet. I got a house here, mansion here. Everything was money. And people watch Floyd for majority of his career for him to lose.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you lost all that money. People just want to see him Floyd lose because of the persona he built up. Floyd Money Mayweather.
Porter went on to explain that much of the interest surrounding the rematch stems from the lasting popularity and legendary reputations of both fighters, rather than the expectation of a peak-level competitive battle. In his view, the event draws much of its appeal from the memories associated with their careers and the significance of their names within the sport, encouraged fans to approach the contest with realistic expectations, noting that while the matchup remains intriguing because of its historical context, it does not carry the same competitive weight or long-term implications that surrounded their first encounter. Unlike the original bout, which played a major role in shaping both fighters' legacies, this rematch is unlikely to have the same impact on how their careers are ultimately remembered. Porter concluded that the event should be viewed primarily as a celebration of two iconic champions and everything they have accomplished throughout their careers. Rather than serving as a final answer to who is the better fighter, he sees it as an opportunity for fans to witness two boxing legends share the ring once again and showcase the skills that made them household names.
He's 50 years old to come out of retirement, to jeopardize his own, which he never really wanted to jeopardize. He never wanted to give Pacquiao his rematch. I beat him.
Yeah.
I walked away. In his mind and with a record to back it up, you know, it's he has a seat at the table of the greatest who ever did it. I don't think he ever wanted to jeopardize it. And so if you're coming back having to jeopardize it when you didn't really want to, and people could argue it's not jeopardized, he'll always be Pacquiao 7 days a week and all that. That's a different dynamic.
I don't think a rematch was needed at the time either.
Well, it's not needed now.
Yeah, but that back then, yeah.
Yeah, it's not needed now. So I think there's a difference though between, I'm fighting for money. Yes, I'm still in my prime or close to it. I can still operate at the highest level, and I'm coming back because I owe people money and I need to get back.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay connected for more updates and coverage. We'll be back soon with another video. Until next time, take care and see you in the next one.